What's up, everybody, and welcome to my Impact Wrestling review. I feel like I've been a little out of the loop when it's been coming to reviews for Impact, I feel like, and I really need to get back on there, but I did see this week's show. I may follow from a couple things from last week, but it's been really busy. Also, I got a chance to get to Pro Wrestling Tees today, to be honest, and fuck, met X-Pac today, just to kind of put that out there, but get into this review for Impact this week. We kicked it off with Eddie Edwards, or unhinged Eddie Edwards, or he's crazy now and he's got a kendo stick coming out, and he's really doing his best to act crazy with his mouth open all the time, but he says he's an honest man, and he admitted he got his ass kicked last week by Killer Kross and Austin Aries, and I guess he's the next one for the title, and he talked about him getting beat up and how he picked himself back up, and he's been called crazy, unhinged, or stupid, and maybe some of those, or none of those things, but Eddie Edwards talked about getting hit in the face with a baseball bat, and in his eye, that's pretty much led up to the whole Sami Callihan feud and the Dreamer feud. But he said he loves the man he has become, and he has nothing to lose, he says. And he talked about he loves swinging the kendo stick and crushing across skulls and taking out Aries and Kross, because he said he hasn't even spoken to his wife, and he talked about how if they want to accept this challenge coming out then, and as he got on the ground, sticking his mouth out, says, you can make this easy or hard. But Austin Aries then came out, said he was the best wrestler on the planet right now. And Eddie Edwards is crazy, stupid, he's dangerous. But he's found someone more dangerous and crazy, and that's Killer Kross, who was with him. Eddie Edwards, but Austin Aries said, you and that kendo stick there, which Edwards kept looking at the kendo stick and threw it across and hit Aries with the microphone. He took the kendo stick from Killer Kross, started hitting him with it then, which, I don't know why Kross was selling that much. Even I said that last week. I know he no-sold it, but I know they're trying to make him into this unstoppable badass right now, it looks like, because now he's like, I don't know if he's like, is he like Austin Aries' bodyguard? Is that what we're going with now? So I don't know why he's like a bodyguard, because they kind of made him to be this like assassin or something about taking people out and putting that red X on them. But I was kind of surprised he got beat up even last week by it, and he started beating up Killer Kross with the kendo stick. But as he kept going, Aries was able to pretty much chop block him. And next thing you know, he put him in a figure four as Kross put him in the cross jacket. They pretty much start choking him out. And then they would put a chair around his neck and was about to hit him. But Moose, who hasn't been here since Slammiversary the last time people saw him, made the save. And he said he was concussed by Austin Aries. Had a concussion from him at Slammiversary, according to Don Callis. But as they kind of came back from commercial, Eddie Edwards thanked Moose for the help as he was holding his shoe. And Alicia Edwards came in calling him Moosey. And I guess, they're going to take out, he said they're going to take out Aries and Killer Kross. They went to OVE, as tonight was going to be a Mexican death match between Sami Callihan and Pentagon Jr. as he was talking to Dave Chris after they shaved his head, trying to console him a little, and that this is all Pentagon's fault, this is all Phoenix's fault, and now OVE and Phoenix are banned from ringside tonight, so, because Phoenix did get the win over him. We then went to Matt Sydal, which he's still talking about the third eye. Even last week, I don't know if he's losing matches, that he's going to become insane. I don't know where they're going with this, but he went against from Zachary Wentz. They called him the internet darling. I've really never heard of him. Match wasn't bad. Aries got the win with a swinging backbreaker for the win. Wasn't bad. I don't know why he was kind of, I don't know if he was going to lose another big match, because he lose the Pentagon last week. But yeah, he did lose to Pentagon last week, I believe. Or was that 2 weeks ago, if I remember? But he did lose to him. So I guess they're trying to make him go insane with this third eye. That's what I hear about it. It's third eye all the time. Eli Drake was in the back as the Cult of Lee, Trevor Lee, and Caleb Conley kept saying, yeah, dummy, trying to get on Eli Drake's, good side, as Drake kind of looked at them, and after what happened last week, and so I'm not your friend, and all you guys just stand in the corner last week. And next thing you know, he's going at he says, you guys can't beat anybody, even these two random guys, just two random wrestlers in the just in the back as they walk by, and then next thing you know that Lee and Conley just saying, yeah, dummy, yeah, dummy. Which, I don't know, they're gone now from the cult of Lee, or was this Eli Drake's new faction? Weren't they already a team? Because Trevor Lee and Conley do feel like enhancement talent. I don't know when they're going to push these guys, especially Trevor Lee, which he had been, multiple X Division champion, but I haven't really seen much from him. He's great talent, but they haven't really done much. They cut to Brian Cage. Says it's the first time you're ever going to hear him speak. Well, if you don't watch the Lucha Underground in the past few years, you probably don't know how he sounds like. But Brian Cage talked about, being the X Division champion while he joined Impact, how he beat Bobby Lashley, and, that he was the past because he beat him 2 times. He is now the future. The X Division is now about to become the Weapon X Division. Him just being big, that there's no limits in there, and that he's a mixture between Bo Jackson and LeBron James, all rolled into one. And he's going to be the next evolution of pro wrestling. So, next week it is supposed to be Brian Cage versus Phoenix for the X Division title at their pay-per-view theme show. That you usually saw on TV. It's called Redefine. So, I don't know where that's going to go, but that should be a really good match. I don't know, have these guys faced the Lucha Underground already? Have they? Please correct me if I'm wrong, if that hasn't happened yet, because I watched Lucha Underground. I may not remember if they faced each other in that, but I don't know if they have, but they are facing each other in Impact now. They went to one of those flashbacks, the GWN thing. I don't know, man. A lot of people do these flashbacks. At least they keep them short. I didn't mind last week when it was long, because I remember that feud back in 2009 with, the Main Event Mafia and the World Elite and Impact, which is just a little weird to look at now, because half of these guys aren't even in the company no more. Even I kind of looked at right now, they did a flashback. I remember this was in Chicago not that long ago, back in 2013, if I remember. Because AJ had started doing his dark gimmick, the old Evil Ways thing, and, Bad Influence, Daniels and Kazarian were beating up Storm, and then AJ pretty much, this when AJ grew his hair out. Next thing he took out James Storm with a clothesline. I remember that's when he went to the Dark AJ, even though none of these guys are in the company no more. But I remember that. And I'm going to get to that whole GWN thing near at the end, because I've spent a lot of controversy going on with that. They even went to Falaba and KM, as I guess Falaba bought KM something, as he kept speaking in Ba language. The Desi Hit Squad, Gama Singh had Rohit Raju and Gunder Singh, which this team feels kind of flat, and KM and Ba are getting more over as they do these comedy acts every weekend. People are really with it, because it is a comedy act, but it's really funny. And even when they did that smoke show with Scarlett Bordeaux last week, the debut of that, they were pretty funny there. The whole ba, 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 ba. So it is pretty funny. Desi Hit Squad, I haven't really seen much. They look like they were going somewhere, but now they just kind of feel like job guys in a way for some reason. Katarina and Grado and Joe Hendry were in the back, as, Grado was like, I didn't sign up for this, and Joe Hendry pretty much kept saying, you came in last place in the egg race in the spoon one year, and now you came second to last throughout the hard work, but she says, slow and steady wins the race, and this isn't an egg race, but the race of life. As they would tell, it was macaroni time, and they were going to walk off, but Grado was still in the back. Next thing you know, some random smoke happens. The smoke show, Scarlett Bordeaux and Bobo. I guess they're really keeping this guy around for some reason. And that Grado must be a supermodel, and Grado says, no, he says, I'm a wrestler, but, pretty much he has his girlfriend doesn't know, he looks like she keeps ignoring him, Katarina, but, Scott said she would help him if, Grado would do something for them. Next thing you know, they're in this random strip club-like place, and he's on a stripper pole and wearing nothing but mostly a thong. People think this is like Big Dick Johnson, if you remember that whole gimmick in WWF, I believe, and he's dancing around, and Scarlett says he's a bad boy or bad Grado, and Bobo's there. They're all eating popcorn, and next thing she falls, like Grado must be punished. I don't know where this segment was going. I don't know where this smoke show thing is going, but I get she's hot, but I don't know where this is going now. Last week, okay. This week, I'm not sure. Kiera Hogan went against Alicia Edwards in a match. Kind of sloppy when I was looking at some of these moves. It felt like every time Kiera Hogan kept knocking Alicia into, had her in a turnbuckle and going out, like she kind of paused for a second and, like took a second to pause and then hit her with a move. Kiera pretty much won with the, the page turner, I believe, for the win, and got it from there. Allie got in the ring as Kiera told her to say it or something, and Allie pretty much, so you had a great match and talked about how Madison Rayne and Rosemary were in a casket and buried, which, what did they, it's kind of weird somebody said, like, what did they do? Did they bury Madison Rayne that they now sent her to WWE in the Mae Young Classic? Maybe what it looked like. Probably. And that the darkness has changed Allie and that her purpose is to end Su Yung, but she knows Tessa Blanchard is always showing up, so she said triple threat match next week for the Knockouts title. Which I believe it is for the Knockouts title, even though they never really speak of it. So, even they went to Tessa Blanchard saying she was going to win and take her out. Both of them out, because last week, I think Su Yung hit Tessa Blanchard with that bloody glove from last week. Next thing you know, we go to this strange pool party somewhere in Toronto. I don't even know who this guy was interviewing Johnny Impact and talked about he was the mayor of Slamtown, and there's a lot of loud music that he said he likes to party, and he's become the champion, and talked about Congo Kong and Jimmy Jacobs, and even plugged this Boone the Bounty Hunter movie. Next thing you know, Congo Kong randomly shows up, and this guy that's interviewed is like, oh my god, like this is so weird, or I didn't know what the hell this was. Next thing you know, they're punching each other. And when you hear the super kick, there's no sound effect or anything. It's like the sound was blocked out, and they're fighting each other. Next thing you know, he knocks Congo Kong into a pool, and then Johnny just does this thing, like, his regular pose, whatever you want to call his name. He's got 8 names, so whatever you want to call him this week, Mundo, Impact, Morrison, whatever. But I'm like, what the hell is that? Why was he thrown into a pool? Why they also look like at a random rooftop pool party? How the hell did Congo Kong get there? Where the hell is Jimmy Jacobs? What is the meaning of this feud? I don't know. Really strange, though. Alicia Atal interviewed Rich Swann. Thank God he actually grew his hair back, because I don't know what that weird haircut he was going on. As they talked about his long-term deal in Impact Wrestling, why did he sign with this company for a long-term deal? And he said his goal is to become an X Division champion. That there's been many great X Division champions, from AJ Styles, Mason Red, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, etc., etc. And he's looking forward to working with people like Sanjay Dutt or Petey Williams in this division, as we'll be facing Petey Williams next week at this Redefined show. I believe Swan's been gone. He wasn't at the pay-per-view at Slammiversary because of an injury he took at the MLW event beforehand, so he didn't even make it. And as he talked about this whole pay-per-view, he wanted to make a footprint in this division and, see his names in lights. And, Alicia wished him well as they were kind of walking somewhere during this interview. Pentagon Jr. hyped up the Mexican Death Match, as he said he was the king of the Mexican Death Match. And it's about respect, honor, pride, and dignity, and that Sammy is going to lose. Porque yo soy Pentagon Jr., El Cierro Medio. There you go. Next you know, they went back to Alicia Tout, who was interviewing Austin Aries, as why Moose was even back, and that, you guys are buddies, and that you guys are going to lose, like we're going to end your careers, as Killer Cross said, 1 week, 3 times. Eli Drake and the Cult of Lee came out, as they were going against these guys named Brandon Tidwell and Mr. Atlantis. Eli Drake was on commentary. Pretty much the Brandon Tidwell guy pretty much rolled up, was it Trevor Lee, I think, for the win? Or was it Caleb Conley? And even Eli Drake, they said, announced like, yo, you should do commentary more. And they said, yeah, but you gotta pay me. Pay me. Pay me. Hopefully they do something better with Trevor Lee. Now, this segment right here, I don't know. LAX. They was in some hood in Toronto. I don't know whose hood this was, but Conan and Santana Ortiz were, partying with some other folks that I guess were in that street fight last week, which they beat the OGs and looked like they killed Kingston with that damn slackback he holds. And they say everything is good. We got the titles back, and they let some kid hold it. We ain't got to worry about them no more. Next you know, Homicide Hernandez and Kingston around in the car driving. And, you know, Conan had a surprise for everybody. They were going to go to the car and get it. But I'm thinking, this is what I'm about to think right here. They about to pull a drive-by in wrestling. Like, we really about to see a legit drive-by on fucking wrestling. That's what I'm thinking the OG's about to do. Looks like they tried to run over Conan, but, you know, LAX and them pulled him out of the way. But unfortunately, you know, they yelled this kid's name was Richie. They said, Richie! They checked on him, and then it's like a camera, first-person view, like his vision is fading away, and then, so let me get this straight. Did we just kill a kid on TV? On TNA here? Like, did a kid just die, I guess? Or murdered, and then next thing you know, this music is in the background, and Josh Matthews and them say this is gone, and Don Cass say this has gone too far, and human decency, so then they just go to the redefined card. It was kind of odd. So, I guess this Richie kid is dead, and now they just kind of, I don't know. Hey, listen, we see people get murdered on Lucha Underground all the time, but I don't think the announcers ever really, said anything about it. Because, come on, I've seen more death on that show in the past few weeks ever since I've been watching Lucha Underground, and they've killed many people on here. But now it's like they actually saw it and knew what was going on. Yeah, do they do this in Lucha Underground all the time? Yes, they do. So I shouldn't say that much because you see from there. But Impact and Lucha Underground are two different things of how they kind of murder people. But now they've murdered a kid. It's really strange. Honest to God, it's very strange. Like I said, I think this is about to be a drive-by. They about to pull a 187 on somebody, but they pretty much killed a kid on. I don't know where this is going, but I don't know. Conan's got a lot of control of this whole LAX storyline, so they're in their own universe in a way when you look at it. So we'll see what goes on from there. In the main event, Sami Callihan versus Pentagon Jr. Mexican Death Match. There was a lot of tables on the outside. I don't know, piñatas. Even, I think what was it? He did a Top Con Hilo onto a table on Sami Callihan. But when they got these piñatas and they're pulling out a staple gun and Sami spit on him and he told him, like, do it, like staple him in the arm and then in the nuts, and even stapling his hat to his head and ripping it off of him, and even found a razor, but Sami hit him in the balls then, and even hit with a roundhouse. And then it was a guitar which had a baseball bat in it, which he tried to hit him with. And the next thing you know, instead of thumbtacks, we had Legos in the ring. Sami tried to do Pentagon was out to do the Fear Factor, but Sami hit him with his own Fear Factor, and he still kicked out. Pentagon called him a puta. He hit him in the nuts, and then a Fear Factor, but he still kicked out. And then there was a table. He chanted, "We want fire," and like he was gonna hit a super, I don't know, maybe like a Fear Factor from the top rope, but Callihan dodged it and hit a pile driver onto the table for the win. Was this as great as their match back at Slammiversary in the pay-per-view? No. This was still a good hardcore match, and it was really good, and Sami did finally get a win, because he hasn't been winning anything ever since he shaved his head off. Him and OVE have been pretty much bested by Pentagon and Phoenix multiple times and lost to them, so he actually got a win here. This does continue the feud, and it's a really good feud, let me say that too, so, because he's kind of been losing more than he's been winning, Callihan. But like I said, the match itself, like I said, it wasn't great as Slammiversary. Slammiversary is more of a bloodbath out there, really. That was a bloodbath. Here, this was still a good hardcore match, but like I said, it wasn't good as the first one, but it was still a good match, though. I'm not saying the match was bad. Still a really good match. Now, as for the rest of the show, just some odd things, especially that whole, we gotta murder kids on TV now with this LAX thing. And, from, I don't know, Johnny Impact throwing the Congo Kong into a pool for some odd reason. Why was he at this pool party? How did he get in this pool party? This thing. Grado as a stripper was pretty strange. Yeah, some strange shit on this show for this week, really. But we do have this Redefined show next week. I don't really know the full card to that right now, so yeah, I have to. pretty much look that back up if I ever get the chance. If I ever get the chance to, but that's the thing from there. Now, as in, but yeah, as we have to get into that. One thing I do want to address real quick, and I know I heard this on the internet, but allegedly Jeff Jarrett is suing Impact for copyrights because of that whole Global Force thing. I don't know a lot of details into it, and I know people have said Jeff Jarrett's a case because of the whole GWN network. And if you notice the color of the ropes, well, the colors of the ropes changed, but the color in the GWN, because that was green, and that was part of the Global Force thing. I didn't know Impact still owned that Global Force stuff, because Impact's pretty much rebranded themselves again. They pretty much got rid of all those titles from the Global Force, and they changed the belts, they changed the color, they changed the logo, everything. That no one's really being called Global Force. So I don't know if this is much the case, really. It's supposed to be, but honestly, when I look at this whole case, is it just that Jeff Jarrett is jealous now because Impact finally has some success and Don Callis and them are doing a way better job than he has ever done ever since they brought him back last year? Because if you look at Jeff Jarrett's whole thing when they brought him back last year, there's a long list of shit he fucked up in TNA. And if he was probably still the damn running the company last year, I don't know if it would have been around. There are some positives, but a lot of negatives has to do with the whole broken gimmick controversy and how there was a back and forth battle with that. The way how, he's kind of one of the reasons why the Hardys left, pretty much. He is the reason. I believe he's one of the main reasons why the Hardys left. And multiple other people like Galloway and Mia Yim and Mike Bennett and others. And listen, it was cool that he brought LAX. And yes, he was able to get partnerships with, listen, they do somewhat better of a job than Dixie Carter. Yes, he was able to get partnerships with Pro Wrestling Noah, Crash, and AAA, which is not a bad thing. We saw more, like I said, we see all these Lucha Underground guys on Impact and stuff nowadays. But now, where I do believe he fucked up on a lot of things was multiple authority figures, bringing people in like his wife, which I don't think nobody wanted to see Karen Jarrett. Bruce Pritchard to an extent. I like Jim Cornette, but that didn't last long. Dutch Mantell was too many authority figures then, it looked like. And problems, I would say, was the Bound for Glory debacle of just multiple people just kept leaving the company. They just left. People were coming back, but there was more and more that left, and the taping schedule, and then when you watch the tapings, as soon as the tapings happen, somebody leaves the company and part ways, and then it's like, what's the point of watching the show? The entire Alberto El Patron situation with putting the belt on that dipshit, and then, him just... the whole Page controversy, and that's why they had to take the belt off him, which was still strange to me. Why the fuck would you ever take the belt off Lashley and then try to make, Alberto a champion? I knew new people were coming into this. He's got to bring new people into work, but just the way a lot of people were gone from the company, and even Alberto, how he just fucked over the company in the end, just didn't even show up and just made up these bullshit excuses. Like, and it Impact, that's all their own fault, because you cannot trust Alberto. The guy's just can't trust him. He's just bad business to work with. And, like I said, it's many problems from the rebrand, or 2-3 rebrands, really. Global Force, it's Impact, or Global Force Wrestling presents Impact. And I gave Jeff Jarrett a chance. I really did. Slammiversary was really good when it happened. But after the whole Slammiversary thing, shit got bad. You lost multiple people. Lashley left without because of his contract. Hell, you fucking wouldn't even push EC3. Y'all caused out EC3 to leave. So, I feel like now this guy's just suing them. It may be true. Maybe McMahon and then told them to sue them just so they could try to get money out of them, or try to, I don't know, end the company, or just fuck with the company now that Impact is actually being shown in a better light nowadays. They actually are getting some type of success, and people are actually fucking with the company again. They got out of that damn Impact zone where everyone's dead most of the time and moving around more and more. We've seen better matches, better story. Don Callis and them are doing a fucking great job. Jeff Jarrett, let him have his Global Force shit. Give it back to him. What is it worth? Tell me. What is this whole Global Force Wrestling worth? Wrestling Boom, whatever. Let him have it. Just give it back. Impact will just give it back to him. Fuck it. Just change the GWN network to to a different color. Change the blue. Okay? Change it to something else than green. Because this just ain't working. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's just not working really. It just isn't. So what he's gonna sue them for, I don't know, but I don't think he's gonna win this case. I don't think he will, but I do believe he is kind of. I think he's just mad because people are doing a way better job than he did last year. He did more damage to the company than, good, if you ask me. There are some positives, but there's a lot more negatives than where you count from the positives. So that's my opinion of just this whole case. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not no legal expert, but I'm just kind of going to what I've read and what I've saw, in my opinion of it. But I am out here. Check out my review. See you guys later. Peace, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you thought about this show. I'm out. Peace.